Дякую, Дейвід. Я для мовного балансу цього разу буду говорити українською.
Thank you very much for the language balance. I would like to speak Ukrainian, but I hope that our guests understand some Ukrainian, because our vocabulary is pretty much shared, especially as I see very professional interpreters in the booth, and I thank them for their help. I'd like to thank the organizers, Mrs. Yatsenyuk, for a very smart organization of our kind of discussion. We've had very important points made in terms of institutional and regulatory steps in terms of information warfare threats. But I would like to broaden the issue of information warfare threats as a part of intellectual warfare. Present here is Mr. Yevhen Lubkivsky. I'm very glad that he is here, that at least one person in this hall will support me in what I have to say on this topic. I'd like to say that this intellectual war, as a matter of fact, has two major threats. This is a war for hearts and minds. We're talking about the threat which is coming from Russia, and this is absolutely correct. But not less important and complicated threat is the threat of European isolationism in terms of the threat to the values of welfare and well-being, the triumph of local thinking over the triumph of these problems over general, universal problems. We just shut our eyes to the outside problems and think that they're not coming to us, and we focus on local ones. But this is not the case. In the example of the EU, we see some very difficult issues. Information policy, just like foreign policy, is a consequence of our self-awareness and self-understanding of our prospects. Our foreign policy and information policy is based on our vision of ourselves in the present and in the future, and how we want to see ourselves in the future. In the European Union, this discussion in the area of IT is basically a discussion about institutional prospects. Brexit issues and the Warsaw Summit will be good platforms for Europeans to understand what European space should focus on as a threat, and if the EU formulates its future vision as a shared space.
I would say that European space seems to be exhausted. So it's like natural fatigue of Europeans, of uncertainty, of refugees, of everyday problems, of problems of other people which are looming on us. So, and we have to give the answer to this. Before we get to the institutional answer to information war, we should understand what lays as a basis of our trust to ourselves, our self-confidence. And here the role of Central Europe is very important. I think that the major bridge between the thinking of the European Union as an institution and that other Europe, which Czesław Miłosz used to speak about, these are our Central and Eastern European partners. I think that their importance is growing currently in the context of information threats. The NATO summit of the 8th and 9th of July gives us an opportunity to give answers to these threats, to say that Europe does not finish in Peremyshal. The Europe goes further on, it touches Minsk, it's in the Caucasus, and only through this trust to such Europe will be able to stop information threat from Russia. Russia is hunting not just Ukraine, but it wants to demoralize values. Our ethical answer would be even better than institutional answer. And here the important role belongs to Ukraine. The ethical component of Ukraine's behavior is a matter of principle. I think that today it's very important that Ukrainian society raises again before the leaders of our state not just the issue of literal adherence to the laws, but the ethical standards of our behavior, morality of our behavior, which would meet the European values. This is a question to the president, to the new government, to the political class. This is all about the new Ukraine, emergence of the new Ukraine. And this will be the answer to intellectual war, which is waged against all of us currently. Ethical standards, renovation of trust and confidence to actions, absence of absolutely comical marathons of changing governments when we wake up in the morning and say, why have they changed this government? What was the reason to substitute Yatsenyuk with Groisman? Yeresko Klemush-Tsintsadze. What was the reason for that? Whether it solves the problem, I don't think so. The renovation, restoration of trust, of confidence to the political class of Ukraine also means answering information challenges. So summing up, I would offer you three major points. Answering information war challenges, we should give three large-scale answers. No to European isolationism, which also concerns our American partners, where there is a quite complicated internal political debate. No to local thinking, which would defeat the global thinking, because Russia appeals to local thinking, first of all. And the third would be the high level of ethical standards of behavior, which is to return, to bring back our self-confidence. That would be a very important victory of ours, because the totalitarian regime waging hybrid war demonstrates its strengths in this. Democracy has no right for hybrid wars. Democracy always has only one alternative: no compromise and very frank and fair and clear position. Thank you very much.